Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. I thank you for joining me on this episode of Assembly of Excellence. I hope and pray that by the end of this video, you get something out of it, that it edifies your spirit, and it carries you through your journey as we try to figure this thing called life out. Welcome to another edition of Assembly of Excellence. Some of you know me by deep entry, some of you know me by mail, some of you only see the person behind the camera. However side you look at it, the fact remains that I'm a human just like the next person. And I go through things just like the next person. If you are watching right now, it's because there's a message here that you're looking for. And I want to give you a message. And I want to talk about a couple of things that I've dealt with throughout my walk that I think might help someone along the way. One thing that we've gotten away from is utilizing one of the greatest tools and assets that we possibly could have available to us, which is the word. Now, this is for those who are seeking answers, understanding, and some type of clarity. And I am not a preacher, and I am not trying to falsify any word or put out any information that might lead you astray. So please take that with a grain of salt as we get into this particular video. I want to read from the book of Proverbs. Now, the book of Proverbs for me is one of the most informative of divine doctrine that I ever laid my eyes on, because there's so many different chapters and so many different layers that you can't just read this one time. From start to finish, there's something for everyone here. And Satan does not want people to come into this understanding. What is here could save me, you, and others a lot of strife, hurt. It could even keep you from walking off the path of destruction. If you only would allow this word to sit with you. Proverbs describes a lot of what we deal with on a daily basis, from lust to listening to the wrong people to secretly harboring emotions that restrict us from being fully identified in ourselves. Proverbs is one of my favorites. And today we're talking about the subtleties of the enemy and what to really look out for. I wanted to speak on a specific chapter, and I'm going to read And I pray in Jesus' name that the word flows through me to you for whoever who needs to hear it. And I'm going to do my best to give my interpretation, at least from my experience in all of it. So I'm coming from Proverbs chapter 10, verse 8 to 23. This is, just grab a seat, get comfortable. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. He that winketh with the eye causeth sorrow, but a prating fool shall fall. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirreth up strifes, but love covereth all sins. In the lips of him that hath understanding wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. The labor of the righteous tendeth of the wicked to sin. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, but he that refuseth reproof erreth. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, a multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. The tongue of the just is just. The tongue of the just is as choice silver. The heart of the wicked is little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. The blessing of the Lord it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding have wisdom. You know, I read from 8 to 24. And honestly, every single line from start to finish it spoke about understanding, knowing when to keep your mouth closed, what happens when you deprive yourself of education, of knowledge, of clarity. It describes what happens when you decide that what you want supersedes reason. Understanding, clarification, counsel, none of that stuff has any importance over your desires and over your lust. When you find yourself in a place where you don't even want to hear instruction, man or woman, no one can tell you or correct you because of your position in life, self-proclaimed provision, success. Maybe you're older. Maybe you have more of an abundance in certain areas than someone else. Maybe you don't respect or look at a person because of how they appear or how they look or present themselves as someone that you can go to for counsel. Whatever the case may be, for 8 to 24 covers so many different avenues. For me personally, I understand and I know what it's like to bite off more than you chew and want to do things right then and there. Sometimes we blame other people outside of ourselves for stepping in that mud puddle, for getting that electric shock or burning our finger. A lot of times we point at everyone else for why we haven't had or why we haven't met or why things don't align the way they aren't supposed to, why we don't understand ourselves, why we don't hear from God more, why we don't have that that spirit in us, that presence. And simply put, Satan is very good at making humans feel like they are God. He is the king of the air. He pretty much has domain over every single thing that you utilize, watch, touch. If there is a way to tantalize and grab the attention of your eyes, to get you subservient to the options and opportunities presented to you, whatever floats your boat and causes you to stray from morality and things that are good and right. If he has that ability to do that to you, his mission is just halfway done. Proverbs would save a lot of us from friendships, from driving down the wrong street, from talking to the wrong people, giving up too much information. It would make us reevaluate how we treat people and how we treat ourselves. It would really cause a lot of folks to turn from the things that they're doing. Are you at a place where you are ready to receive word? Take accountability for your choices and your decisions. Are you ready for that? Are you prepared to hear what you need to hear and read what you need to read? Because Proverbs, it is like putting you under an x-ray machine and exposing every single thing that there is about you. Except this touches more than the flesh. This pierces your spirit, your personality, This taps into the root of your problems. It moves away all of the dirt and dust. It forges and polishes. It makes you healthier. I love the part where it says that a righteous tongue, if I'm wording it right, is like a wheel of life, or something to that effect. I love that. If you really dissect every single line from this, deep down inside, you and I know what this is about, where and what areas this touches. There's no doubt about, I would not doubt 1 second that if you read this and you listened, that it would do something to you. I dare you. And I hope and pray that whoever needed this gets. The enemy does not come with chains, and he doesn't always come like a gargoyle or dressed up like a sacrificial animal with bludgeoned body parts. Sometimes the enemy comes as your favorite TV. Sometimes the enemy comes as that man that you lusting after, or that woman that you're lusting after. Sometimes the enemy comes as your ego and your pride and your bitterness and your yearning for revenge and your inability to forgive. Be mindful of what you feed in yourself, because once it comes here, everything internally is affected by it. God bless.